The time has come. So in the weekend, I saw...
Oh, you're going to go straight in on that one.
No. I saw this. With Sam Cedar and Emma Vigeland. Now, they have just watched the preview to Mehdi Hasan. And the reason I want to play a bit of Sam is listen to what he says, because Sam already knows before it even gets released what the right are going to complain about. So they've just watched the, like if I go back 5 seconds, you'll see. So they've just watched the preview to it, and listen to Sam's first couple of sentences.
And today I'm surrounded by 20 far-right conservatives.
Oh, they brought back
the white culture girl.
The white nationalist girl, yeah.
Yes,
yeah. It looks like they stalked all. Now, what's going to be fascinating is to see the reaction of like, well, you got bad fascists in there. There are smarter fascists. Or if people are going to be like, these people are extremists. We have no policies that are like this, except for, the one that Stephen Miller, the chief aide to Donald Trump.
So he picked it straight away. Like the right's going to complain like, this is not a good representation of us. And I'm afraid when you look at the Trump White House, it is. Emily then put in her Blue Sky feed that it was coming up and Pat would be excited. And this was my response. This is my response to thinking about watching it. Uncontrollable shaking. Like when I saw that thing, I stood up in the lounge. I literally stood up and went,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
I was like,
this is going to be amazing.
Star Wars, where Obi-Wan sort of goes, there's been a great disturbance. But in the other way, Pat is excited about something that has happened. I can feel it through the energy in the universe.
I hope that you guys don't just think this is me entertaining myself, because it's actually a really important good watch as well. Some of the criticism that's come out today was he's just debating kids. He should be debating someone, seriously. But then again, the right have made their name off this. What's his name? Louder with Crowder, going out to universities, change my minds. That's what they do all the time. And this at least is a third party. It's this group Jubilee who do a bunch of different videos, including this Surrounded one. And this is they're surrounded with Mehdi Hasan. And it wouldn't be a far stretch to say potentially 20 fascists. Like if you haven't seen it yet, we'll show you. All right, let's get into this, shall we? The first one, what's the first claim? Donald Trump is defying the Constitution, and the first response is, I don't care if he's defying the Constitution. This guy is off the chain.
Nice to meet you, sir. Mehdi, lovely to meet you.
He's your favorite, Chewie? This guy, he's your favorite? Do you need to take a water break? You can go for the toilet if you want.
When I was watching this before we came on air, and I got a little bit past this, I literally almost put my face through the desk. Like I couldn't. I can't hype this enough. What this man is about to say. Roll it.
So I would say that with Trump being anti-constitution, I don't really care, to be quite frankly.
Okay.
Because in regards to the Constitution is a document that should seek to serve us. Yes. And when it fails to seek to serve us, that can be amended. Laws can be changed. And quite frankly, the fact is, we're defending things in this country that shouldn't be defended. The First Amendment should not defend pornography and making children and women be victimized. Making women
foundation of free speech laws in the 1980s with a guy from Hustler magazine. That was the foundation of how we understand free speech in a modern age. Is it must defend the worst speech. It must defend Hustler magazine.
None of these people realize the trap that they're building.
Yeah,
because that's the sort of thing. It is all speech or it is no speech. Because if you have exceptions like, oh well, all free speech apart from pornography, somebody has to come in and decide what is allowed and what is not. And these guys think that they're always going to be the one wearing the boot.
That's exactly what he says too. We'll keep going.
And children be victimized as a result of that. I think things like blasphemy shouldn't be allowed per the First Amendment. I think that, quite frankly, there are a lot of legal processes that are enabling criminals and bad people.
Say again?
Against whose God?
I just thought that you were saying that guy looked particularly effeminate to be a Christian, and maybe he was hiding something else that we should all know about as well. Blasphemy and that kind of stuff. Anyway, we'll keep going.
people to fully enact their will in this country in the name of the Constitution or following the Constitution. So, quite frankly, if Trump is anti-Constitution, good, and I think he should go further.
So this is wonderfully revealing of the modern conservative mindset. So I appreciate you spelling it out so openly. Just checking, do you support the Second Amendment?
I do.
Okay, surprise, I was shocked to hear that. I'm saying that Donald Trump is defying the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the 14th Amendment. He's thinking of defying the 12th and 22nd Amendments. You're saying you don't care about the Constitution, but actually you do because you quite like the Second Amendment. You just don't like the bits that you disagree with. Can I just be clear on that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm more than willing to amend it and include
Whenever
the
it's in your
Second Amendment.
favor?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So can Democrats do the same when they're in office?
No, absolutely not. Because
you don't
it's the
believe in
friend enemy.
democracy?
No, I don't. Absolutely not.
What do you believe in?
Autocracy.
There's something about the face as well. I don't know what it is.
It's
But
that
there's
it's
something-
very punchable.
No, there's something about it's like a marionette puppet. It is literally like someone else is speaking on his behalf, and there is probably an element which is that is true, because these ideas are coming not just from a right wing position, but are coming from a fascistic dictatorship fetish. He wants a dictator as long as the dictator agrees with him.
This is what it always is. They always think that they will be on top.
Oh, wrong
And
words.
Wrong
words.
For him to go with the word he's about to say is autocracy. He thinks that autocracy is just a right wing thing. You can have left wing autocrats.
Yeah.
Like autocracy is just bad. You just look at history, it is bad every single time. This guy is going to cheerlead that and one of the worst autocrats in recent memory.
Yeah. All right.
Big
we'll keep
fan.
going.
Big fan.
So you don't
the
believe in
friend enemy.
democracy?
No, I don't. Absolutely not.
What do you believe in?
Autocracy.
By who?
Honestly, quite frankly, anyone who is in line with Catholic teaching.
Donald Trump is not Catholic.
Of course, he's not. I completely agree, and
So
that's
you
part of
support
the problem.
Trump? You don't support Trump?
No, I don't. I didn't even vote.
The guy behind Mehdi over his shoulder, this guy here in the pink, he gets on to talk a couple of times. I don't know if we share his, but you watch him getting angrier and angrier and rocking more, and how he puts his flag up so quickly. Him in the background there is kind of a yardstick for how the conversations are going if you are a right-wing fascist.
Of course, he's not. I completely agree, and
So
that's
you
part of
support
the problem.
Trump? You don't support Trump?
No, I don't. I didn't even vote for him. I wrote in like John Pork or someone.
Why
I can't
did
even
you-
remember.
Why did you vote if you don't believe in democracy and you want autocracy?
Well, because quite frankly, I voted.
This is
I
fascinating.
kind of voted just to
I came with this
troll a
argument,
little
but
bit,
I'm bored of my own argument. I'm much more interested in this. So
Yeah, absolutely.
How do we get to an autocracy?
I think, quite frankly, that if we are able to enact local
Who
leaders,
is the we,
or-
by the way?
I think, quite frankly, these far-right conservatives sitting right around
White
me.
people?
Yeah,
No brown
absolutely.
people. So
Well,
some
actually,
of you guys,
I have quite.
some of the people
I
in this
have
room
quite-
don't make the cut from what I can see
actually,
visually.
Actually, hold on for a moment. I do think that there are people who happen to not be white who do actually have history in this country and have roots in this country. For instance, from the Mexican-American War, we subsumed a lot of territory of people who have far stakes in this country who happen to be Hispanic or what have you.
Okay.
I'm for defending the traditional demographics of this country, which is majority white, and should stay that
How
way.
does the United States? I mean, we've gone so off topic, but how does the United States look like under you? Sorry, what's your name?
My name is, my name's Connor. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Took a little bit of a doubt there.
Oh,
to say
well,
your name.
I use
Connor,
a pseudonym online,
Fair enough.
but
Connor,
fair enough.
How would Connor's America look? What would it look?
I wonder why.
Well, quite frankly, I think we would deport people who shouldn't be here.
No, I didn't ask about
whether-
deporting. What does the government look like?
What does the government look like?
Yeah.
I would say, quite frankly, it's under a sort of benevolent leader, such as
Where
know,
does he
Franco.
come from?
It could be a kind of aristocratic class. Could be someone
No, but
who
who picks the autocrat?
frankly, the people. I mean, we could hold a vote on it. Kings
So
were
isn't
paid.
that democracy?
Well, sure. You can have a vote to get to that
And
stage.
then no more votes afterwards.
Absolutely.
Wow.
100%.
Wow. And if that autocrat kills you and your family, you're fine with that?
Well, I'm not going to be a part of the group that he kills because
How do you
that's the
know?
whole thing.
How do
Well,
you know?
Carl Schmitt made
Autocrats tend to kill
I'm definitely
everyone.
not
Carl
going to be
Schmitt
part
is-
of that group. I'm never going to be part of that group.
But what I mean, people probably are realizing this, but what he's saying is, oh yes, there are going to be people that he kills.
Yeah,
I'm just not a part of it.
I'm not going
He's-
to. I'm not going to
he-
be in that group.
He didn't say, no, he wouldn't kill anyone. He went, I'm not going to be a part of the people he kills. So he's acknowledging that this autocrat that he wants to see run America is going to dispose of people, killing them, but he's one of the good ones, which we've heard before in every setting where there's been an autocrat. And all of a sudden, the good ones, they find a way around getting rid of some of the good ones too.
Autocrats just love killing people.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. Even
It's their
if you
thing.
supported the autocrat, unless you're always going to be on the side of the autocrat, you start disagreeing with him, you're on the chopping block as well. This man doesn't understand this. No. He's got a hard-on for this fucking fantasy version.
He's LARPing. He's absolutely LARPing. This has got about 45 seconds to the end of your favorite guy, and then we'll keep going.
This point very well in his work. It's the friend-enemy distinction, right? You
Carl
liberals,
Schmitt, the Nazi theoretician.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't care.
Are you a fan of the Nazis?
I don't. I frankly don't care being called a Nazi at all.
I didn't say that. I didn't actually say that. I said, are you a fan of the Nazis?
Well, they persecuted the church a little bit. I'm not a fan of that. But
what about the persecution of the Jews?
Well, I mean, I certainly don't support anyone's human dignity being assaulted. I'm a Catholic.
But you don't condemn Nazi persecution of the Jews?
I think that there was a little bit of...
The far-right conservatives, that woman's going, she's either going, this is one step too far, or she's going, you know what, our group doesn't say these things out loud. I don't know which one of those two things it is, but it's one of them with that look.
Nazi persecution of the Jews.
That look.
I think that there was a little bit of persecution and
we
stuff
may
like
have
that,
to
which is
rename
bad.
this show because you're a little bit more than a far-right Republican.
Hey, what can I say?
I think you can say, I'm a fascist.
Yeah, I am.
And people clapped
I'm
that.
just checking who's clapping just to get my set of where everyone is on this. Because you know that millions of people are going to be watching you on YouTube and checking out who the fascists and the Nazis are.
I'm not ashamed of that whatsoever.
No, clearly you're not.
During the pre-war period, prior to World War II...
This comes a fade out because that's the end of this clip. They keep talking, but I couldn't find it out, so we just went for a fade out. Now, Chewie, I do have a few more clips to show, but do you want to quickly share some thoughts on your fascist friend there?
That man goes on to cheerlead a very creative interpretation of the reign of General Franco in Spain, where he apparently only murdered communists and never the church, which was absolutely not what happened. He is a really interesting case. Over the last few years, there's been this rise of a very weird ultra-conservative sect building around Catholicism. They think modern Catholicism has lost its way and we need to go back to the fucking 1400s where everybody knew Latin and that sort of thing. But it is purely around race and the church. And it is one of the strangest things I've ever looked into. And that guy very clearly subscribes to that sort of thing. To go that it's all about Catholicism and that's the only thing I care about. Yeah. It's deeply, deeply strange if you read into it. Interestingly enough, the current US Secretary of Defense, one of his tattoos that people sort of go, that's fucking weird, is a symbol that is tied to that reinterpretation or fundamentalist view of Catholicism. It's very concerning.
We've got a little bit more with this guy, but it's not because we want to see more about what he's got to say. We often wonder about platforming people. And this is a part of the conversation where Mehdi basically stops talking to him. He goes, I don't debate fascists. I thought I'd play and see what people thought. Because obviously they're on someone else's platform and they're going there to talk these issues. But I think the thing that's great about this is Mehdi Hasan is, I might be being a little bit, I don't know, hyperbolic's the right word, but certainly fangirlish, but it, to me, comes across as one of the best interviewers in the world at the moment. So when he gets put into a situation where the position is Donald Trump has defined the Constitution and this rando goes off on attack, he goes with him because the conversation is more important and more interesting than Mehdi's original point. And this is just the end of this conversation where Mehdi just basically says, well, I don't debate fascists. And this is about a minute after the last bit that we thought. So there's been another 60 seconds or so.
dignity, because I even believe in your dignity. I don't, in a state that I was
with the
running,
greatest of
I
respect,
wouldn't want to hurt
don't
you or
debate.
anything like that. But
What are we
quite
doing
frankly,
here? I don't debate fascists.
okay. So do you concede then? I mean, why?
Do I concede you're a fascist who won't condemn the Nazis?
Yeah.
Yes, I concede that.
Okay, great. So I mean, what are we doing here? Because I mean, you
don't
just seem
know what
offended.
you're doing here,
You
to be
just seem
honest.
offended, to be quite frankly. Like,
I'm offended by people who can't condemn the Nazis. Yes, I am.
okay. Well, I condemn the evils that they did, but I don't really
Against
care
the
about
Jews?
being. Yeah, sure. I don't care about being called a Nazi. Is the whole thing.
I never called you a Nazi.
I care
You
about
called
doing
yourself
the right
a Nazi,
thing.
a fascist, and a General Franco
Well,
supporter.
yeah, I am a General Franco supporter. He was awesome. He was so super cool, quite frankly. Because the whole
And
thing.
you don't believe in democracy.
I don't believe in
What
democracy.
are you doing here at a televised debate? This is democracy. Not what a debate and disagreement.
Because it is the means to support an end. The reason we have free speech now is because we want.
Do you notice actually how his face has just changed? It's like, here's the important stuff I want to share. You know, oh yeah, absolutely laugh, you know. And then it's like, boom. Here's the thing he wants to say.
Not what a debate and
Because
disagreement.
it is the means to support an end.
Boom.
The reason we have free speech now is because we want to be openly talking about our opinions so we can get the state that we want. But it doesn't mean
This is
upholding
great.
free speech after we win. I mentioned
the only good thing about this fascist moment
the
we're in
whole
is
reason
that you guys are so open about it.
the
It's
whole
great.
reason
Say
I
the
mentioned
quiet part loud.
the
Keep saying
whole
it.
reason I mentioned Carl Schmitt earlier, and you kind of blew past him, is the friend-enemy distinction.
past him because of the Nazi
even
point.
liberals, when they take power, they want to enact policies and they want to enact protections for their people and their ideas, and they're willing to punish their enemy. And so I'm the same way. I'm like, hey, if you're going to punish me, I'm going to get in power, and I'm going to frankly punish you when you try to leverage power against me.
See, but you know the difference is he's talking about the left versus the right. When the left get in, the right cry about being punished when they're not. And then when the right get in, they punish the left. But you know what I mean? But the left don't do that. The left think saying it's okay to be trans, the right think saying it's okay to be trans and respecting people for their choices. They think that's like beating up the right.
Persecution against them.
Persecution against the right. So his justification for they're going to do it to us, so we're going to do it first, is actually a false dichotomy, because the left don't do it to the right. They don't try and force them out. They don't try and it's not true. It's all projection. But then they use it as a defense for what they're doing. It's fascinating. It's just fascinating.
Just that simple.
I'm not sure what you want to say.
Hey, it is what it is.
All right. Pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
It's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
I can't say the same, but thank you.
That laugh has the least amount of humor I've ever heard in a laugh.
But you see
Like,
what happened? When he spun and all of a sudden he was talking about the reason we want free speech is so we can say what we want, get in who we want, and he said it, and then we can end free speech. And that was the boom in his face. It went from this really weird, rehearsed, marionette laughing, kind of fake, and then all of a sudden it was like, shung, I'm locked in on the main point now. It's just fascinating.
I said this when we looked at Sam Cedar doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Is what I think is most shocking to me is this is stuff 10, 15, 20 years ago that would have been hidden on a message board. That would have been, the Stormfront, which was a message board for avowed neo-Nazis who were talking about race war, and it was just for them. But once you were in there, it was all there. But you definitely wouldn't go on a fucking televised thing and spit it out. You might say it at a rally, but you wouldn't say it out in the world to normies. You would coach your language and dog whistle arguments and that sort of thing. It stuns me when we saw it in the Sam Cedar one, that it was just straight up Nazi, white nationalist, great replacement, all of that sort of stuff, chat out in the open. And it stuns me here that it is someone that is so confident in their view, and that they are surrounded by 19 of their supporters or people in their corner, that they're just going to say it, and it's out on the internet, and he thinks that he is that comfortable he can voice these opinions. They should have a rematch of this where the only change is Mehdi Hasan has a bat.
Just so you know of that Sam Cedar debate before we go into the next clip, this is the one that we called Barbie Nazi. You know, when you wake up the next morning and you find out, and she's back. And like, just to show you we don't do the clickbait thing, that's our third highest video of all time, was her, right? And she's in this one as well, but actually she was kind of null and void. She was pretty pathetic. So we're not showing her just for the sake of it, but we are showing this guy because the other thing that happened to Mehdi in several of these interactions was basically him being told, you're not an American, you should go home. What are you doing here? Just straight out racism. Just straight out racism.
Just a little warning here as well for people at home. Ladies, if you're watching this video, I know it's on the TV screen and that sort of thing. I'd still cover your drinks. Like, I don't think there's a woman in this guy's life that doesn't take their drinks with them.
So this is the guy who's sitting blurry over Mehdi's shoulder. So this is the guy I was talking about. So you see him now, but in a couple of we've got 2 other clips. So these are much shorter, these clips now. Then you see him reacting to everybody else's. So let's have a listen to the first time I think Mehdi gets told to get the hell out of the country.
Of all immigrants coming in tomorrow, moratorium. You think that Republicans and employers of big firms just suddenly raise all the wages?
You notice
That's
how
what
you
you
didn't answer
believe.
what I said. You
That's
notice
what
how
you
It was
believe.
a complete. Your ankles
That's what
all
you
right?
believe.
You pivoted the
That's
hell
what
away
you
from the
believe.
conversation.
Is that what you? I'm on
Are
the
your ankles
subject.
okay?
Do you believe that wages? I'm just wondering how naive you are. You believe that the 1% will raise wages in the federal wage
They will
if
be
we
forced
stop
to.
immigration?
They will be forced to.
It's great
When you
biggest
increase
naivety.
labor's relationship to capital, okay, and you give labor more bargaining power because you're
But
tightening
this
the
is a very
supply of
simplistic
labor.
understanding of economics because you're
Okay,
not,
explain I'm wrong.
I'm telling you how you're wrong.
hear
Because
it.
you're ignoring the fact that when immigrants come into an area, they spend money. They create jobs through their
About
presence.
1/5 of their monthly income leaves the country.
That's a good thing also because you don't like USA foreign aid. So this is the point. They create
Don't
jobs. I
assume
came
that.
into this country. So far, every one of my assumptions about you has been correct. But listen to me. I am an immigrant. I'm speaking from personal experience.
Get the hell out.
I don't even like. I should get the hell out.
See that girl in the background? That's Nazi Barbie.
Yeah, loves it.
Yeah,
Loves it.
That's her. So when this guy goes back, you've got Nazi Barbie on over his left shoulder, and this guy over his right shoulder for some of the other reactions.
Yes.
Why?
I don't want you here.
Why?
Because you come here and say all this bullshit
Why?
about how Americans are lazy.
Why?
You push your left-wing
I never
politics.
said Americans are
I don't
lazy.
know why you say this.
I never said Americans
yes,
are
you
lazy.
are. You're
The only person
saying
attacking
immigrants
people
have to
is
come
you.
into this country so they can do jobs that we don't want to do.
I
That's
never
exactly
said those
what
words.
you said.
When did I say
Oh,
it?
really? You
When did
didn't
I
say
say
that?
it?
So
We're
why
on
do we-
YouTube. Guys watching on
See,
YouTube.
this is the classic thing that the right will do. And in fact, I got it over the weekend a bit on Twitter from one of the clubs. I didn't really engage, but I said, so point out where I've said that. They will say, this is what you think, meaning this is something I've seen people on the left saying that means you are the same. I mean, like, to be fair, maybe the left does that as well, but it's a really bad tactic if you're having a debate or a conversation with someone because you just look stupid. Because like Mehdi's doing, it's like, just show me where I've said that. And he can't, so he looks like he's full of shit.
YouTube, rewind to the time where I said immigrants are doing jobs we don't want to do. When did I say those words? Words that came out of my mouth.
Okay, so why do we have to bring in immigrants? Why do we have to bring in immigrants to the country if we have people who are going to do the jobs?
Pause. You've been voted out.
It's nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you.
You're going to have to go, bro.
Nice talking to you. You're going to have to go, bro, is what he said as I left to an American citizen. Good to know where you stand on immigration. It's not about immigration, is it? That's what it's not about.
Yeah, I just played that a little bit at the end there from Mehdi. So there you've got Nazi Barbie over one side and, I don't know what you call him, young Hitler youth on the other side. Well, anything you want to say to that?
What's the opposite of consent is sexy?
Consent is sexy. Being a bit rapey is sexy, or consent is not sexy. I don't know.
Like someone in the chat said, looks like he's still breastfed, and my clarification on that is without consent. Yes, probably. Yeah, like just these people are insane. And one of the things that I've been like, I know America's a big, diverse country. There's millions and millions of people in it. But almost without exception, every American that I have met personally has been lovely. And I'm talking about like the students that come here to study, the people that come here on holiday, the people that I met when I went over there a couple of years ago. I can't pass that version of America that I have seen with this ugly, hate-filled, with a nice following breeze, we'll have fascism by lunchtime, and that's what I want. and I'm going to be out in the open that's what I want. I can't pass those two things.
But I actually think what these guys are saying represents more the Trump White House than general America, than general conservative America.
So
if you look at
why
the
do
guys
they
who are...
People voted for this. And I mean, yes, their system is fucked. It's weighted against the actual people. But they keep doing it.
Yeah. All right. Let's have a look at another clip, and it's good to see that the Amish had a chance to get in there as well. This is Amish fascist. Again, you know, Mehdi Hasan, you are a representation of what the problem is in America.
Because you're not being, you're being a little disingenuous. Saying I'm only against immigrants now. This is a trope.
How's that disingenuous?
This is because it's a trope that's been used by nativists throughout American history. And every wave of immigrants has come in and faced the same hate and animus and bigotry and lazy tropes. And every wave of immigration is ultimately assimilated, integrated, benefited the country. In fact, assimilation right.
Just again, see the guy in the background shaking his head, leaning forward. He is not happy with what this young upstart, this uppity commentator is allowed to share.
Wave of immigration is ultimately assimilated, integrated, benefited the country. In fact, assimilation right now, according to Jacob Victor from the University of Washington, assimilation rates based on language and citizenship and naturalization are higher now than 100 years ago.
Okay, let me make a statement first. I think that you in
You
your
ignored
own
my statement, but okay.
you and your own person are a complete perfect example of why immigration is negative and why we shouldn't allow people who don't have anything in common with us. You're pro-abortion. You're pro-euthanasia. You're pro.
I'm pro-euthanasia.
Yeah, you went. I've seen your stuff. You've defended euthanasia.
Pro-euthanasia.
Yeah, on Piers Morgan.
No, I've never discussed euthanasia with Piers Morgan in my life.
Okay, so my point is that you don't agree
actually,
with
I'm
the
the guy
founders
here.
of this country.
If anyone watching at home, I'm the only guy here who actually supports American values, democracy, free speech, the Constitution. I've got folks here telling me they don't believe in democracy, that they're nationalists.
Wait, why should we care about that, by the way?
Isn't that what America stands for? What does America stand for? So you hate what America stands for, not me.
I'm not even
and
saying...
in fact, all the studies show that immigrants actually are more patriotic than native-born Americans.
The only reason why, that's the Mexicans in LA right now burning it down, waving Mexican flags.
LA's being burned down?
Please don't send us back to the country that we're waving the flag of.
I've been in LA for a few days. I didn't see anything burned down.
Yeah, I know. The riots have ended. That's because Trump sent.
But if it's burned down, where's it all burned down? I haven't seen it. I've traveled around all of LA. You said LA was burned down. LA is 500 square miles. It's not a figure of speech, actually. It's another false claim of yours.
No, they're burning
I support
buildings.
euthanasia. LA's burned to the ground.
Bro, just
immigrants
relax,
hate what we stand
relax.
for.
Okay, so
I'm super relaxed.
So you're pro-abortion.
But you're just saying one false thing after another.
So you're pro-abortion,
and
right?
I'm standing by my position. Immigrants are good for
You're pro-abortion. You're an immigrant.
I'm pro Roe v. Wade. Personally, I'm not pro-abortion. If you knew anything about me, you know.
Roe v. Wade is.
All right, pause. You've been voted out.
I was going to say nice to meet you, Brian, but I guess not.
That's the end of that one, Chewie. It's actually an interesting lesson in debating or conversing with someone. I mean, I'll say this to all of you guys out there watching as well, who are a part of what we do. Don't throw things at people that are comments and opinions of the group. You know, if the person in themselves has or haven't said it, you know, just it's something to be a bit careful of. And these guys aren't sophisticated enough to even understand the terms of debating, especially up against someone like Mehdi Hasan. Anything you want to throw at that one there, Chewie?
Yeah, I've got a question. I actually haven't looked into this. Where have they got these people from?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but they've obviously got a list because some of them have been on before.
Do they go to college?
I don't know the answer to your question.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll Google it during the next video, but I suspect this is considered a TV show now because it's on YouTube, and they probably put out, we're looking for 20 young far-right conservatives to come on an episode in 6 weeks.
I do wonder if these guys are involved in higher education.
Why do you wonder that? Because it hasn't done them very well?
Well, I think there's a comment there about American education, absolutely. And like, this is why I sort of go, the knowledge of history is so important, right? To understand the context of the world you live in, it is derived from history, and the American version of, say, their own history is unreliable. You know, this is where a lot of it comes. Like one of the other guys on the show says that he's a Native American and he's white.
Yeah, I think it might be the next
because
guy
he was because he was born there, so that means he's a Native American. We have some people in New Zealand that say that they're indigenous to New Zealand because they were born here. That's not what that means. But yeah, these people cheering fascism when so many Americans died fighting fascism it stuns me. You know, so many Americans died fighting against autocrats. They also died installing autocrats, but maybe we shouldn't skip past that. But yeah, it's these guys don't know their history. It's the too long did not read version of what I'm trying to say.
This might be the guy who says that, but if it's not, because
it is,
like I said,
yeah,
okay, but this might not be the part he says it, but this is just the third of I wanted to show. This is the vibe of the whole room, even if they don't all say it. This is him trying to be very calm and calculated and say, "You are not an American." So this is the position.
I want to take this opportunity, because I don't know if I'm going to get the opportunity again, to say, you're not American. First and foremost, you're not.
Remember when I said the agitation from you is not going to be lower?
What I'm saying,
you came to lower the temperature and then make racist remarks. You know that's a racist remark.
It's not racist.
You tell an American citizen.
But okay, perfect. You just proved your own point. You just said that was a racist position. Yes. Earlier, you argued this contention that America has no race. It's a bunch of immigrants that culminate together.
Into America has no race.
You inferred it. You absolutely did. Okay. So now you're saying it's racist for me to take an American nationalist approach. You're kind of
an American national approach? Is that a white approach?
I think it's a white nativist approach. Of course,
only Americans are white people.
Why did your parents immigrate from
Americans
India?
only white people.
Why did your parents immigrate from India to the UK?
Because the UK colonized and conquered India.
Okay, why did you immigrate to America?
Because many reasons.
Okay, all opportunity. There's opportunity.
That's not true. You don't know.
The accent. Your accent is an affect of white Anglo-Saxon.
But you know there are 50 million Americans in this country.
I understand, but
none of them are Americans in your view.
What I'm trying to get you to do to reach a common ground here.
We're not going to reach a common ground because you sound not American.
Please try.
I don't think you're American.
I'm saying you're not.
I don't think you're American.
I'm saying you're not American due to values.
I don't think you're not American on values either. I think you're a little fascisty, a little racisty.
See, you're using these words. Okay, first of all, I want to say this.
I'm not just throwing them at you. You didn't come sit down and I said it.
Every conservative that has ever been shut down by leftists like you, for every conservative, for every conservative,
you've already said
for every right wing,
you've already said you're not a conservative.
For every Stefan Molyneux, Thomas Sowell, Nick Fuentes, all of those people.
Is Thomas Sowell American?
He's Australian. But that's not the point. I'm saying people that are on our side of the aisle that get shut down by people like you because you're leveraging this position of emotion.
You're joking, right?
No, I'm not. You're leveraging the position of emotion.
My side of the aisle is trying to deport you. The only shutting down is being done by you.
They're actually trying to genocide my entire race. So what are you talking about?
Wow.
What are you talking about?
You're a white genocide guy?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Wow.
You know the fact
I'm amazed that Jubilee find some of you guys. How do they find you?
Do you see?
Did they email you? Do you have Gmail?
Why are you trying to oust me? This is such a cheap tactic.
Do you go to Nordstrom?
No,
all immigrants. Have you ever been on eBay?
No,
immigrants.
but I'm
You love immigrants.
No, I'm agreeing.
You love immigrants when they're helping you. You just don't like the color of my skin.
We're having a different conversation.
Pause.
White genocide.
We're having a different conversation.
All right, you've been voted out. Please return to your seat.
Okay. I really wish we could have got.
I mean, you believe in white genocide, so it's very hard to.
What?
I
haven't got to the. What the fuck was just on screen?
That guy there's
Holy
Iranian.
shit.
The guy on the left's Iranian, and he is very
a wizard.
Does
he do street magic?
He is very ill-informed on what's happening in the Middle East, and this guy obviously is a Trump sycophant, as you can tell. And
God,
that was very funny, Chewie. A wizard. There'll be some lols in the chat about that. There's one more clip. Yeah, I reckon we should just go straight into it, and then we've got a little bit of sugar to finish the show with. The last clip. I haven't actually written down what it's exactly about. All I've written is. First of all, let's get a screenshot of Chewie's favorite guy for a sec, because it comes across as basically you uppity immigrant, and I guess you know the connection I'm making to that, having a reference 100 years ago to that word and the uppity word and what they meant by immigrant. So let's just have a look. This last one's only dun dun dun. Yeah, it's only a couple of minutes, 2 minutes. Have a listen, have a watch. There's our friend again. Donald Trump Donald Trump is for. I can't see that word underneath. Donald Trump is
Ethnic
something.
cleansing of Gaza.
Yeah, it's ethnic cleansing. So he's basically saying Donald Trump is pro ethnic cleansing in Gaza. And back to our friend who was over his shoulder.
How you doing? Good to see you again.
I'm good. I'm good seeing you too, man. First thing I'm going to say is I'm not down for Israel. Okay, that's the first thing I'm going to say. And
can anyone guess why?
I wonder why.
Yeah, can anyone guess why?
I wonder why.
Do you think it's like a well-balanced looking at their policies and what they're doing and crimes that they're committing? Do you reckon that's the reason? Or do you reckon
That's
it's maybe...
absolutely not a win, dude.
Do you think maybe it's because, they killed my Lord and Savior? Maybe it's more that vibe than the other one. Maybe.
I don't like when you come up here and you use the type of rhetoric that you...
It's just so hard not to go, I don't like when you come up here, sounding like the yokelist hick, and then come out and say all the stereotypes. If this guy was a movie character, he wouldn't be as much of a caricature as he is in this commentary.
You talk like all of these like left-wing positions, and then you go to the last part, which is I don't support ethnic cleansing in Palestine. I think you're doing a huge disservice to pro-Palestinians when you start aligning yourself with all these progressives. I don't think it looks good because you have all these conservatives in here who oppose war, they oppose intervention in the same tradition of Pat Buchanan and all the greats that came before
Not Donald
him.
Trump, though, sadly.
Yeah, it is sad. It is sad. I do agree. I mean, he ran on an anti-war ticket. He said he was going to... I didn't...
Because he lies, right?
You gonna let me talk, or you just want? Yeah, true. So, I mean, yeah, you keep going back to Trump. I don't think this is part of his plan. I think this is a plan of...
I like how he says you keep going back to Trump in a section that they're talking about Trump agreeing with ethnic cleansing. You keep going back to Trump. That's the segment that you're literally doing.
Lobbyists. And this is not just unique to Trump. It's been a thing since the Democrats. It's been a thing since the Republicans before him. It's been like this since Truman. I don't know if you read like John Mearsheimer's The Israel Lobby or anything like that. Would you agree or disagree with anything like that?
Oh, I agree with Stephen Watt and John Mearsheimer, yeah, for sure.
Okay, great. So I'm just wondering, when you ally yourself with all these leftists and you come up here and you argue for immigration, you argue up here that, Trump's this bad criminal and this and that, and then you
think Trump's bad too?
I think he's good on some questions and bad on other things, but let me get to my point here, is you ally yourselves with guys like,
Let me get to my point. Yeehaw! Ba-ting! I mean, it just fits perfectly.
Jewish Voices for Peace and all those guys.
Great people.
Yeah, not really though.
Why?
Because they're self-interested in it.
They're not. By definition, they're not.
It says it on their homepage.
By definition, they're not self-interested, right? They're going against their own community.
Are you going to let me talk? On their homepage, it literally says that we are here to segregate Judaism from Zionism. It's very clear they're doing this in their own interest. That's why it literally says Jewish Voices for Peace. They're going to be the good Jews who say that we don't support Palestine. And then what happens is...
And let me just make it clear, you guys out there, we're against all the Jews, no matter where they sit in the political spectrum. Yeehaw! Ba-ding!
Says Jewish Voices for Peace. They're going to be the good Jews who say that we don't support Palestine. And then what happens is you take all these progressives, you go out there and LARP in the street, and then everyone here who's conservative, they're going to vote for the pro-war candidate because they don't want to be associated with all the liberals.
So you're forced to vote for pro-war people. Poor
It's either that or get replaced in my country. What do you want me to do?
Oh, you and your replacement bullshit.
Yeah, okay, buddy.
Oh, wow. There's 3 people so far. Let's keep counting.
So just in case you missed that, I'll read out what it says in the overdub. The guy walked back to his seat, stood up and pointed at Mehdi, if you're on the audio podcast, and said, "You're going to be the first one that's going to the promised land. You're going to be the first one that's going to the promised land." Ding! That's what he said. That's why I let it run to the end.
The deniable threat.
Oh, wow. There's 3 people so far. Let's keep counting. We should be nicer to you. Oh, wow. There's 3 people so far. Let's keep counting. We should be nicer to you, otherwise you'll deport us. What a great argument. This is the free speech debate camp. It's not your country, my friend. It's our country, whether you like it or not.
I think that's a pretty good ending point. Mehdi Hasan. Mwah. But so on some level... yeah, sorry, you go, Joe. You go.
I'm halfway through this. I am going to persist. For people that are going to watch the whole thing, I recommend tackling it in bites because it is a lot.
And get your chewing tobacco if you want to feel like a local. Yeehaw! Ba-ding!
But yeah, for a country that's founded on conquest, murder, slavery, these people don't understand their history. They don't understand their place in the world. They have a huge persecution complex. And their answer to the persecution that they think they're on the receiving end is, once we come to power, we're going to persecute harder to make up for the thing that hasn't happened to us. Like Walmart stocking Pride merch is not you being oppressed, dude. People talking about Black history or queer history is not oppressing you. But they feel like it is. Like,
it's an attack.
I forget the actual percentages, but I remember seeing this mentioned that for a group, whether it's an ethnic group or like in a class system, the top class, when there is an adjustment or a rebalancing, the percentage of change before the dominant group feel like they're being oppressed is tiny. Whereas for those groups that are oppressed, what they live under is something that top group could not endure. And it's always, they tell on themselves.
Yeah. Every accusation is an admission.
Exactly. They think the other group is going to do to them what they want to do to that group. It is phenomenal, and it was in the air for this Jubilee shit show.
Yeah, and like you were saying, I mean, like we said at the start, it's like when that guy literally said, well, they're going to do it to us, so we're going to do it to them, but they're perceiving what the left is doing to the right, just to make the conversation a bit quicker. It might not be quite as black and white as that. As you say, as being oppressed, as saying that, gay people can get married. Oh, you're oppressing me because that's changed my right to get married. Whatever the policy is. And they go, well, so what we're going to do is we're going to kill you. I mean, the guy at the end, you'll be the first to go. So they're going like, well, you've done this thing and you've allowed gay people to get married, so we're going to deport you and your family to Guantanamo. It's like, okay, so how about we let you guys marry your sisters? Be something in the South you might want to do anyway, and we'll call it even. It's like the disproportionate response to what they say is an attack on the right is like a change in social policy versus, well, we're going to do the worst, heinous, most criminal act to you because you let those two gay guys get married. So we're going to put you in the, what are they calling it? The alligator Alcatraz. That's going to be our payback.
I also find it interesting because you see it multiple times in this, that their style of debate is to come up with an absurd hypothetical and then try to backfill from that point.
Yeah.
And I think like there was a comment that flew past just there that, hey, I'm not the biggest fan of the way that Mehdi debates. And I think what you saw here is Mehdi street debating.
Yeah. And he was putting them off. He was putting them off on purpose. He was repeating back to them several times what they'd just said, and it was putting them off. Yeah,
and just repeating. And this is the problem. If you have a single coherent thought, a defensible point, that sort of backchat shouldn't rattle you because you just come back to that salient point that you have. But when you're laboring under some absurd hypothetical or some point that relies on this precondition and this one, then it all falls apart. You can't keep track of all of the moving parts. It's a way of forcing someone to unveil the thing that's at the middle, the thing that they don't want to say. So I can see why he's doing it, even though it is incredibly frustrating.
That's interesting.
You don't see that in a more formal debate setting, like the Oxford debate, the Cambridge debates, or that sort of thing, debate club stuff.
Because what I think you're saying, correct me if I'm wrong, is you're going, he kind of needles, and then they explode and they say the thing out loud that they're not supposed to.
Oh fuck! And yes, you should be in a camp. Damn it!
Yeah. Interesting.
That sort of thing. The other thing that I would say is that Mehdi his recollection of facts.
Yeah, I know.
And cases
and books that have been read.
Sort of thing. If you watch this whole thing, it is live fact checked. Comes up on the side window. So if Mehdi mentions like there's a whole segment that Donald Trump is pro-crime and pro-criminal because of the people that he had pardoned for January 6th. He listed off person after person after person, what they did, why they were jailed, what the judge said about them, and the fact that Donald Trump let them out. And these guys had nothing for that.
Yeah. Because then they'd say, well, it's not about J6, and he'd bring up several examples of, for example, white collar crime, where people who were put in jail for 4 years because they stole $4 million, he was doing it. Yeah, there's no comeback. There's no comeback.